Hello, everybody. This is Willie Havmeyer of HavmeyerINC.com. Make sure you check out that website, my blog, keep up with my latest. I wanted to have a debate with you guys today about something I feel is kind of important. It's an interesting topic in today's age, and that is who did it better, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King? Like, which one had the better platform that they ran on? And I know a lot of you going to look at it like you comparing apples and oranges, but actually we comparing apples and apples because they had the same goal. They just had different means to their end. You like, say you want to go to Hawaii. One person might say, let's go, drive to California, then catch a boat to Hawaii. And another person say, you know what, that take too long. Let's just fly there. They both trying to do the same thing. They both trying to get you to the same destination. They just have different routes of getting there. So again, going back to these two, it's not really apples and oranges. It's actually apples and apples. It's like Martin Luther King was like the Red Delicious, and Malcolm X was that Granny Smith. So when we compare these two, one stood on a platform of by any means necessary. Somebody hit you, you hit them back. Somebody attack you, attack them back. Somebody disrespects you, you disrespect them back. And we know that is the case for Malcolm X. And a lot of us have so much respect for him because of that stance. That unapologetically black stance. I love it. I've always been a Malcolm man in the debate, but over the years, I'm 35 now. As I look at it now, I'm more of a Martin Luther King guy now because I really understand his means and method, a little bit better now. Whereas Malcolm X was the, by any means necessary, Martin Luther King was more of a, nonviolent, peaceful. He had that nonviolent, peaceful approach. And I looked at that always as soft, effeminate, cowardice, demasculized. You look at it in those kind of ways when you're younger, but when you really get to thinking about it as you older, you start looking at things as they play out. Saddam Hussein got taken out in, Iraq because he was known as the butcher of Baghdad. Muammar Gaddafi got taken out because he was said to be butchering his people in Libya. Right now, they're attacking Syria right now because they said that the Syrian president, Assad, is bombing his own people. He's murdering his own people. They use that word butcher a lot. He's butchering his own people. And this is done because in order to take out an enemy, what America does, or the devaluer in general, what the devaluer does is he has to demonize his enemy first just to get the public on his side to then take this person out. So then when you take this person out, you look like you did a great service to the rest of the world. So they'll demonize you. Then they can attack you. Now, again, I said I switched over to be more of a Martin Luther King guy, MLK guy now because I look at his method. Believe it or not, him and Malcolm X had the same method. Like, Martin Luther King was not for disrespect. He wasn't for you hit me out. He wasn't for you hit me, I'm gonna turn the other cheek. But he knew to appear that way. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to appear that way because it made it harder to demonize him when the man is saying, hey, I'm nonviolent. I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want my people free. He had that approach. And we looked at it like all the marching, protests, the sit-ins and all that stuff was of act of cowardice. When in actuality, he evoked so much change. He influenced presidents. He influenced Congress to do different things. Civil rights laws, civil rights acts. He shook hands with the president to appear to be nonviolent because America loved him. And he was deemed the most dangerous man in America at this time. Like in the 60s, the FBI had him listed as the most dangerous man in America. And the reason why is the beautiful part of it. The reason why is because not only could he influence black people, but he also influenced white people. And that's power. Like he couldn't be seen as a monster. He couldn't be demonized because he appeared nonviolent. You can look all over the net and you'll find pictures of MLK holding rifles. You know what I'm saying? You can look up his old speeches. He'd say, take all your money out of the white banks. Don't go to white insurance companies. Don't go to white supermarkets. Go buy black. Shop at black places. Put all your money in black institutions. That's power, guys. But for the audience or the viewing public, he appeared to be nonviolent. So with that approach, you got to look at that and really examine like the thought process of it. How can you kill somebody in that kind of regard without making a martyr out of them? You know? How can you necessarily go out and kill somebody, which they did kill him, but think about what happened afterwards. Think about his legacy afterwards. He's a damn saint in America at this point. You know, of course they went through the years and trying to, I call it bleaching or whitewashing him. You know what I'm saying? They sanitize him up, clean him up, make him seem like he was pro-gay, interracial this and all this good stuff. But in actuality, he was very, very, very in his roots for black self-love and the eradication of black self-hate. But again, like I said, the two guys had a contrasting style where you had that Malcolm X up in your face. I ain't taking no shit from you. If you don't let me through the door and you stand in the way, I'm pushing you over. Martin Luther King had a different approach. He appeared to be nonviolent, all the while having very revolutionary thought, which actually contributed to a lot of the changes that happened for black people at that time. So a lot of people get the guise or are under the impression that if you just did what he did, like as far as marching, protest, things like such, boycotting stuff, things would change in today's climate. But it actually isn't the case because they don't understand that the root of it was he had the love of the people, both black and white. So the devaluer couldn't demonize him. Now, our leaders today that try to do the same thing don't have that necessary appeal to both sides of the coin. So I commend both men. I think both men are great. But, I'm riding with MLK at this point in my life. I'm all for standing up for myself, being a powerful alpha male. At the same time, strategy is the key when you're facing the devaluer. You can't come out and openly attack. You got to attack using your brain. And that's something that I feel like is awesome. So let me know what you think. What do you think? Do you think you are more of a Malcolm stance or do you think you're more of a MLK stance? What are your differences between the two? Let me know. Educate us. Peace. And oh yeah, don't forget to like my